Most best note-taking app for iPad videos are basically affiliate ads dressed up as reviews. So before we start, here's the honest truth. There is no single best app. The right one depends on whether you're a student annotating PDFs, a project manager juggling tasks, or someone who just wants their grocery list to sync. I spent 6 weeks using each of these as my daily driver, paid for my own subscriptions, and took 0 sponsorships for this video. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll know exactly which app to download tonight. Here's my testing setup so you can judge whether my opinion applies to you. I used a 2024 iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil Pro, plus an older iPad Air with the USB-C pencil to check budget compatibility. I tested handwriting recognition, PDF annotation speed, search accuracy on a 100-page document, sync reliability across iPhone and Mac, and how each app handles being offline on a plane. I also checked actual subscription costs as of June 2026, because prices have shifted on 3 of these apps in the last year alone. GoodNotes 6 is what I recommend to most people, and it earned that spot honestly. The handwriting recognition is now genuinely accurate, even for messy cursive, and the AI math assistants can actually solve problems you write by hand. PDF markup feels natural, the template library is huge, and search across handwritten notes works well. The downsides: the subscription model frustrated a lot of longtime users who paid for the one-time license, and the AI features are gated behind the higher tier. But for daily students and meeting-heavy professionals, it's the safest pick in 2026. Notability is the app I'd pick if you record audio while taking notes, lectures, interviews, client meetings. Its audio sync lets you tap any word or scribble and jump straight to that moment in the recording. And that feature alone has saved students hours of rewinding. Handwriting feels slightly more responsive than GoodNotes on the Pencil Pro, and the interface stays out of your way. The catch: the subscription is now required for unlimited notes and audio, and the iPhone companion experience is weaker than Apple Notes if cross-device parity matters to you. Don't sleep on Apple Notes in 2026. The native handwriting tools, smart folders, and collaborative whiteboard features have closed the gap with paid apps for a lot of casual users. Math Notes can solve handwritten equations, transcription works on voice memos, and everything syncs through iCloud without any extra account. It's not as powerful for heavy PDF annotation or template-driven planning, and the organization can feel flat once you have hundreds of notes. But if your needs are everyday capture, and you already live in the Apple ecosystem, you might not need to pay for anything else. I want to be honest about Notion because the iPad app has improved, but it's still not a true note-taking app. Pencil support is limited. Handwriting feels like an afterthought. An offline mode is workable, but not seamless. Where Notion wins is when your notes are connected to tasks, databases, and shared workspaces, project briefs, content calendars, team wikis. If you're a freelancer or run a small team and your notes need to live next to your project plan, Notion earns its place. If you mostly write by hand on the pencil, look elsewhere. Obsidian is the power user pick, and I'll be upfront. It has a real learning curve. It stores your notes as plain markdown files on your device, which means you own your data forever and it works offline by default. The linked note structure is incredible for researchers, writers, and anyone building a long-term knowledge base. The downside is that handwriting support is plugin-based and clunky, and setting it up on iPad requires patience. If you care about owning your notes for the next 20 years, the time investment pays off. A few apps worth a quick mention. Craft has the most beautiful interface of anything I tested and great for design-minded users, but the feature pace has slowed in 2026. Bear is excellent for writers who want markdown without complexity. Nebo has the best handwriting to text conversion if that's your only priority. And Evernote. I have to be honest. I cannot recommend it in 2026 given the price hikes and the feature stagnation. There are better options at every price point now. Skip it unless you already have years of notes locked inside. Here's the simple decision framework. If you mostly handwrite and want one app that does everything well, get GoodNotes 6. If you record audio with your notes, get Notability. If you want a free starting point and you're an Apple user, start with Apple Notes and only upgrade when it actually breaks for you. If your notes are really project work, use Notion. And if you're building a knowledge base you want to own for decades, invest the time in Obsidian. Don't pick based on what looks prettiest in a video. Pick based on the work you actually do every day.